On Sunday, March 15th, 2020, on a trip to Thailand for our friend's wedding, Anna and I headed through the alleyways of Bangkok to enjoy our dinner reservation at this place called Ga. Reading from their About section here, Chef Garima Arora grew up in Mumbai, but her cooking is unique and eclectic and owes something to the New Nordic school with its understated presentation and emphasis on sourcing the best quality ingredients. As most of you know, my dad's from North India, and I've had a blast over the past 4 years exploring that side of my heritage, both through at-home style food with my family, as well as high-end riffs and interpretations like you're about to see in this video. 2 glasses of Frederic Savart Premier Cru to start. Cheers. A wet towel for our hands. Don't eat that. We're gonna get into the menu in a second here. This bottle of Letus from 2014 from Eric Morgat would be our third wheel at the table for the entirety of this meal. Fun fact, beverage pairings here go from really tasteful and fun on the alcoholic side to thoughtful and unique non-alcoholic pairings as well. The structure of this meal is centered around 4 feast presentations. First off, to start, a few selections to play on street food. Fruit leather on the bottom, yogurt, pomegranate, and little crispy chickpea sev to garnish. Eat with your hands here, first by rolling the leather to create a roll like this, and enjoy. Next up, a pull-apart young corn from Thailand, simply grilled over charcoal and then brushed with yeast oil, and a bit of lime and Indian spice powder. Extra dip in the corn puree here just to ramp up that flavor intensity. This seems so simple, but can confirm, so delicious. Thin grilled toast on the bottom, fresh longan fruit on top, frozen and shaved liver on top of that. Classic sweet and minerally combo. The flavors here hit it right on the head. Duck serving next. Here's a beetle leaf encased in reduced duck stock. Texture was on point, presentation was over the top, subtle duck flavor that didn't stick to your teeth, and I know how prep intensive these are to make, so extra appreciation for sure. Duck paniyaram with green chili paste on top. This was fried and tender like these kinds of snacks should be, while still having fruity and bright balance from the chili. The duck flavor shined through here even more. Great 1-2 punch of a presentation. This next table filler centers around popli paneer with some Persian techniques. It's a 24-hour ferment on the cheese and served with condiments. So young garlic chutney with pickled lime, green mango chutney with nasturtium, and chilled gooseberry and tomato, as well as a West Indian chili paste, along with these milled crackers. This banana leaf is going to be grilled next, and on the inside, panki, a West Indian pancake made from rice and coconut. A little tableside presentation to show what's coming up on the seafood side of things. Take this first serving, for example, caviar with grilled strawberry to start. The idea being you eat 1 bite of the panki per presentation, and the entire pancake will last 5 servings. Next up, blue swimmer crab, lightly steamed with coconut and kokum, candied ginger and curry leaf oil, coriander leaf to garnish. A dish from Copra next, dried chutney with garlic and sesame mixed with butter and used to cook these razor clams. On top, we've got fresh shaved radish and a shingled sava fruit called Kaling Pink. Puffed scallop cracker here. It is smoked, served with cucumber chili paste. I wish I could keep these on my living room coffee table and just snack on these while watching Netflix. Freshwater crayfish here. Chutney paste from dried scallop, served with these super sour orange limes from Thailand. Squeeze the citrus on the tail and then enjoy the head. Stunner of a presentation for sure. I loved this course. This is fried young Bombay duck with herb salt. Yes, that is what it's called. This is a lovely snack that just, all these dried fish presentations remind me of Southeast Asia so much. Moving on to a fully vegetarian feast, slowly cooked unripe durian, cooked slowly until it's the consistency of bone marrow, and then seasoned with jasmine oil and bee pollen used to spread on this cornbread. The conceptualization and presentation of these two together just completely blew my mind. Another house-made butter served on the side with jaggery and ginger, just in case you needed something else to spread. Inside this bowl is a play on sag with roselle, a sour leaf from Thailand, and then grilled spinach and mustard leaves on top as a nod to the original. This is a stuffed chili with 4 different kinds of seeds inside and seasoned with amchur salt. And next to that, a Marion plum with sweet and sour chili powder. Last up, really heading into the sweet transition now, petit fours with 4 different types of chocolate. This is a chai biscuit with caramel on the inside, a dark chocolate brownie with chili, puffed rice with white chocolate and pickled lime, as well as a milk skin chip with milk chocolate, cardamom, and fennel seed just to add a little bit of spice. And in this bowl, we've got a play on Tandai, the cold and delicious rose and pistachio beverage from India. Total for the 2 of us came out to just over 16,000 baht. Feel free to convert at your leisure. Now is normally when I'd attempt to round off about this experience, but I'm going to do you one better this time. One of you folks actually was interning at Ga when I had the pleasure to eat there, and I hopped on a call with him to chat through what that time was like, an update on their amazing team, and so much more. For those of you who are just here for the 4K meal goodness, I really hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for your attention. But for those of you who want to stick around, this is my pleasure to introduce you in the first ever TPC epilogue featuring Rohit Chidurala.
What was
It's still not normal. It's still, like...
Still the same?
It's not like completely under lockdown still, but there's definitely like a lot of the buildings downtown are still boarded up. A lot of restaurants still aren't allowing seating, and it's just frustrating, because it's like we had so much lead time. I mean, like the last time I saw you, we were talking about COVID just starting, and we were like, I wonder if this is going to go away in a month.
Yeah, sure. Now it's like everything is normal here. Like
really?
Pretty much everything is normal. All the restaurants are open, dine-ins are open, and pretty soon the universities and colleges are also being opened.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, the positive side is like the recovery rate is quite high. Like 80 plus. So like it's almost reaching 90%. So like there's no fear at all right now.
Sure. And you like started a whole new project, right? Like you're on your own now.
Yeah. That was out of the blue. India was under lockdown, on pretty strict lockdown for like 3 months, and possibly in the month of May it was kind of unlocked, but not totally. So like I just thought, why not start something from the kitchen itself at home.
Sure. So where in India are you?
Hyderabad.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And is it a small team? You're keeping it smaller? You want to kind of grow it?
Oh, I'm doing it alone.
So you're doing everything.
I'm just running a cloud kitchen, like where I just have a takeaway menu.
Smart.
And some catering service. Like private dinners, like if they want a special menu, so like I can design and cook it for them.
Sure. That's the way to do it.
Currently that's the best option, I would say.
Yeah. So the main reason I wanted to chat with you is because I want this to be kind of a cool addendum, like the end of this place called episode of Ga. And obviously we met there, but I was just kind of curious, because that night you guys only had like 2 covers, right? And so I would kind of like to see or hear from your perspective what it was like the days leading up to the night that I ate, and then the nights following, because like very shortly after you guys like stopped serving, right?
Okay, so I probably joined in the month of March. 1st of March, 1st or 2nd of March.
Which was like 2 weeks before I arrived. Or 2 weeks before I ate.
Right. So the first day of service, like during my service, like it was like 50 packs. Like it was pretty much full. And the following days, like it drastically fell down. Like, next day was 25, next day was 10. Like it went to single digits. And there were days like there was no reservation at all. So, the same, like, just the same week which you joined in, like, it was pretty much single covers, single digits, that's all. It was quite boring.
And were they all, like, last-minute cancellations, or did a lot of people, like, say, hey, can we reschedule,
there were a lot of last-minute cancellations. Like, it was pretty frustrating.
That sucks. And what were the days? Because I ate on the 15th or the 16th, and what were the days after that like for you guys?
So I left on 21st.
Wow.
Yeah, and 23rd was the day I guess the restaurant closed. Not closed, like no. 23rd was the day where all of the interns left to India back. And it was a complete lockdown in India on 23rd. And I guess around 28th or 26th, the restaurant closed. Even Bangkok said it was locked down.
And I think the craziest thing about this meal that people are going to be weirded out about, maybe, I'm curious to see how people respond, is that like middle of March of 2020, I went out for a dinner and like nobody was wearing masks. Like, you guys had hand sanitizer at the door, and there was we weren't even doing like distancing things. You know what I mean? Because like you guys were still doing tableside service. Like nobody was wearing masks. Like it was just a different time. You know, like we just didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess during that time it was not so serious in Bangkok.
That's true too.
It was just picking up. So like, I mean, if in case you had any symptoms, then only like people used to take it seriously.
Right.
Other than that, nobody cared.
And the coolest part about that meal for me was that like I've certainly worked at places where you have slow nights of the week and you will just kind of, it's not like you'll hold anything back, but I mean you guys felt like you were just going on. I barely felt it in the food. Like the food execution was still like amazing. And so like kudos to you guys, you know, like that kitchen leadership team, like whatever it was, where it's like it didn't feel like there was only 2 covers that night, you know?
Yeah, I mean the head chef and the sous chefs are like pretty excellent. I mean like they are like I mean it's great working under such people.
Do you still keep in touch with anybody from there, or do you intend on going back when things stabilize a little bit more, or what's the plan? Like, how's your relationship with the GA team?
Yeah, it's I mean kind of not exactly in touch, but you know the people who I worked with, you know, like some of the staff members I do keep in touch. Like I'm not planning currently as of now. Like I would love to, you know, just expand whatever I've started and just see how far I can go with this.
No, that's great.
And because yeah, I mean the response has been quite nice, so like I'm quite happy with it.
Sure. Well, congrats, man. That's really awesome. Is there anything else like that was impactful during your, what was it, 3 weeks at GA that you took away?
Yeah, it was planned for 2 months and ended up in 3 weeks. I mean,
it wasn't even a real full 3 weeks. It was like 2 weeks and some change, right?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even do a full house. I mean, it's just a different way of cooking when you're cooking for 6 people versus 50.
So, you have a lot of leisure time, so like you wander around. It was okay. I mean, you get to meet a lot of new chefs and all.
Totally.
So like quite an experience.
Mm-hmm. I always like new interpretations of Indian food. Like elevated Indian food is always really, really inspiring. Because on that same trip, I was cooking with my aunties a bunch. Like when we went to Delhi and spent time with my family, and so it was like I really felt like I got both sides of, you know, like really high end and then like super casual at home cooking at the same time, which was really nice. And I got to meet you. Like we finally got to meet, you know, which was awesome.
I mean, I was so surprised. I would say. I mean, you know, I was just coming like a casual, you know, like just a table side service. Like then I saw you. Like, oh, is that really you?
Wouldn't have thought halfway across.
Like,
Yeah, halfway across the world.
I just wanted to shout.
No, it was awesome. It was, and we're still chatting to this day, and I'm really wishing you the best on this new project, man. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you think that GA's menu is a good? I think it's certainly the best interpretation on Indian food that I've seen, from the sense of like how things are served in big servings. Like that's more or less how you eat in India normally. But like to have 4 feasts like that was really, really smart, versus the kind of like, oh, let's be kaiseki or let's be his French tasting menu style, you know, dish after dish after dish. And then also just like some of the playful nods to Indian food without having it be like directly street food or directly, I don't know. I really enjoyed that meal. Like that sticks out as one of the better Indian fine dining meals I've had, for sure.
Yeah. No, like, we have these thalis, where, you have multiple components. I guess that's the whole principle they brought with the big main courses. So, like, you get to try a lot of different components, like, and, just make it according to your flavor and your taste palette. And that's one of the interesting parts of the menu, and of course the Indian cuisine as well.
They're moving too, right? Ga is moving. I got an email about it.
Yeah, they are moving.
Because they just need a new space, or they got a better offer, or they're downsizing?
Yeah, I guess because of the COVID, they might have to go do it on their own, or like I'm not pretty sure what exactly is the reason.
Well, didn't they have a relationship with Gagan too? And he's been all over the place with, like...
Yes, now she's independent, I guess.
That's good. That's great. Good for her.
Mm.
Well, I'll let you get back to your night. I really appreciate the time. Expect a
Thank
couple...
you so much for having me.
Of course. Expect a few more DMs from me if I have ingredient questions, because I always like to get the script as accurate as possible. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks
have a
so
good night.
much.
See ya.
Yeah, good night. Yeah.